Thank you, everybody, for joining Stories by You. I'm your host, Fanas Hoshampur Heckert, and we have our beautiful guest today, Kelsey. She's a good friend of mine from Frederick County. Now I moved to Montgomery County, so I am so excited that she came forth when she found out Stories by You, and she wanted to share her story regarding her brain tumor surgery and just the whole process. So delighted to have her. She is living in Frederick County with her husband, Dwayne, her cat, Snickers, and also she loves to support Frederick County communities and her church. So just so much that she offers. She loves to work out, run, lift weights. So there's so much that I know about Kelsey, but I just haven't seen you in so long. But thank you so much for being on the show, Kelsey. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how did this journey started?
Well, first of all, thank you, Fernaz, for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I'm definitely excited to get my story out here. I've been wanting to do this probably for about a year. So I want to just mention to everyone, I also have epilepsy. I also have another neurological disorder, NF1. I won't get into NF1 or the type of epilepsy I have, but NF1, you can Google it and find lots of resources on it. So I was having some positional vertigo issues, and I actually see a nurse practitioner at the neurology office I go to, and she's on my, she's the third one I've seen, and she noticed the dizziness issue and was asking, has anyone done this? Figured out what's going on? And I said no. So she wanted to start with an MRI, and I'm like, time out, nope. So she suggested a couple of other things that I tried within a year time frame, and I finally was just like, okay, let's do the MRI and uh, brain tumor. And I was at work when she actually said, we found something, I want you to come in. And I went from like 0 to 60, and Dwayne went with me to the appointment to discuss this. I had my mom on speakerphone because my mom doesn't live in the area anymore. My mom has been there for me throughout my whole neurological issues that I've had. And I put myself in her shoes. I could tell that being a mom, yes, she was definitely worried for me, and was probably sad that she wasn't there to actually go to this visit with me, but she was there by phone, so that was good enough.
Okay, great. So your initial reaction when you found out you had brain tumor. So what happened there?
So the nurse practitioner, she didn't know what it was. And the neurologist said, this is out of my area. We'll send you to Hopkins. I know this doctor there. I remember having 2 emotional breakdowns at work. I wasn't at NIH at that time. I was at NIST. And the EAP director actually came in to give me some coping skills to not think about this, especially during the day at work. I could just continue to occupy my mind on work and not think about this. Because I didn't know if I had cancer. And that was the last thing I wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's tough. No one wants to hear something like that. You would want it to know you have some kind of a tumor, but it's benign. That doesn't really is not a serious thing. So throughout all of the process, did you have good supportive group of friends, your family, to stay with you and help you through it? Did you lose any friends, gain any friends?
So the church, my home group was very supportive. They actually made meals for me after the surgery.
Awesome.
And the home group leader, he actually went to Hopkins to stay with my family and my husband throughout the whole surgery process. And nobody else on Dwayne's friends offered. John, I'll just say his name, it's okay. He was the only one that offered. So that was very thoughtful of him to do, and I actually appreciated that. Did I lose any friends? Yes and no. I would just say one person, they didn't reach out to me as much as I thought they would, like the others did. I also found, after the fact of the surgery, I found a brain tumor Zoom support group that meets regularly. I probably go to these meetings once a month. Some other stories are a lot worse than mine, but I'm grateful to have them because there are some things that they go through that I'm still struggling with. Like I'm still struggling with positional vertigo. And now the doctors think it's an inner ear issue. And I'm like, I'm tired of seeing doctors. No, I
I
don't
get
want to see any more doctors right now.
yeah.
And my primary, she just said, if it's not disrupting your daily life, then just don't do anything about it. But yeah, if it's, at some point disrupting your daily life, you don't want to hold off on it. So,
Yeah, it must be definitely scary to have to know there is something wrong with your body, but doctors can't figure out, and you have to figure out in your own body how you can go about doing your daily life. So I know I didn't know about the brain surgery until you and I started talking on social media and you wanted to talk about it publicly. So, what was the reason that you didn't want to share that on social media to let people know? Because I know if I knew, I would definitely be there for you and help you out.
um, I stayed quiet about it on social media because I didn't want all the attention. I didn't want all the text messages. I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you, even though, yeah, that intention is meaning well. But when I got some of those messages, I just cried because I didn't want to think about it. And the more I thought about it before the surgery, I'm thinking, I don't even know if I'm going to like come out alive or paralyzed or anything. I mean, thankfully, the only thing I struggled with was relearning how to do certain things like motor skills. My typing, I was slow in the left hand. I'm still a little slow in the left hand, but it's gotten better. And I remember before I came back to work, my boss had said, "Do you need anything when you come back?" I said, "I don't know." And I said, "My typing is slow." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, when I'm typing an A, I'm typing an S. When I'm typing an E, I'm actually typing an R." And he's like, "Oh, well, we can get this program for you where you talk in a microphone and types things out." I'm like, "No, we're not treating Kelsey like she's disabled when she comes back." And he's, "No, no, no." He's like, "It's a reasonable accommodation." He's like, "We'll pay for it." And my dad being a manager for so long, my dad's like, "Just let him spoil you when you get back. You're kind of a liability when you get back. Just let him spoil you. It's fine." And so I actually, accepted it, and it all worked out. My typing's better now. It's just it's still a little frustrating on the left hand. And because I was a runner beforehand, obviously walking was no problem for me.
Sure, sure. I mean, so having support group is awesome, and I know something that you and I talked about when you did have your surgery. I was laughing so hard when you shared with me what you told your doctor if you could go back lifting weights and go running again. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so my doctor, he came in after surgery. I was in ICU and half drugged up. And he says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." I said, "I'm in pain." He says, "Well, we'll give you some medication to take." And he's like, "Do you have any questions?" I was like, "When can I go back to work?" And he says, "Kelsey, I operated on your brain. I don't want you going back to work for 2 to 4 weeks." I said, "Well, I got a pumpkin run in about like a month and a half in early November. Can I do that?" He says, "I don't know what that is." And I said, "It's a 5K." He says, "You're not going to be ready to run by then, but you can walk." He's like, "If you're going with people, go ahead and walk it." And my mom, later, when I was more myself at home, she says, "Why are you asking, Dr. McGurgy when you can run and go back to work?" And I said, "Because I get my joy from being around other people. I get my joy from running." And my mom says, "You need to stop being so stubborn." She's like, "You get this stuff from your dad." She's like, "Just, you need to rest your body." And I, I don't know. I think that was funny.
I
That
think it's determination and motivation. You're motivated because you want to go back because you know you're capable. Your body is going to heal at some point, but
yeah.
not the next day. Okay, honey. So, so tell us about motivation. I know you have the church and their support, and some of your families. You have your husband. What else is keeping you motivated and helping you going?
Definitely, my parents, my sister, my niece, my husband, my church friends, my gym family. I know when I went back to the gym, the owner of the gym was watching me walk on a treadmill, and I'm thinking, "I'm fine, you don't need to watch me." And he's like, you're walking on a treadmill and you had brain surgery a month or two ago. He's like, the treadmill moves under your feet, and you said your brain tumor was on your cerebellum, which controls your balance. It's like, I want to make sure you don't fall. And then I think like in the surgery was in September. By late December, I was pushing a sled with 300, not 300, like 200 pounds on there. And the owner of the gym, he's like, come on, push it, you can do it. And push I go. And so my strength didn't change. I did write some Bible scriptures down. I remember Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And then James chapter 1, verses 2-3, which talks about consider it pure joy, brothers and sisters, when you face many trials, because the Lord's testing your faith. Obviously, through a traumatic surgery like that, and not being able to do the things I used to do for like 4 weeks, that I would look at pictures of me running through the professional photos of the 5Ks. I'm like, I'm going to do that again. And here we go. December, I think 4th or 5th, I'm doing another 5K, and I'm going to do it even if I'm running half of it and walking half of it. I'm determined to do it.
You go, girl. Yes, I love that determination. This is such an encouraging story. If there's anyone that want to contact you, Kelsey, what would be the best form to get in touch with you?
So I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. Instagram, it's KNEP, K as in Kathy, K as in Kathy, N as in Nancy, EPP. Or you can find me on Facebook, Kelsey Freilich Knepp. And you can send me a direct message and let me know, hey, I saw your story on Stories with Franaz, and I'll write you back. I'm happy to help you guys if you have a family member going through brain surgery, or if you just want to chat more and have more questions about what I went through.
Thank you, Kelsey. Again, for our audience, this is basically really just encouraging stories. There is no advice or anything like that. It's just basically people sharing their stories to help others, to encourage them that there are support groups and people that love you and they can just be there for you. That's basically it. And that is my goal, to share more stories like Kelsey's. And again, thank you so much, Kelsey, for being on this channel and helping our audience know a little bit about you and your story. I'm glad that everything worked well. God was so with you through the process. Thankful for you and Dwayne, and we just want to watch, have God watch all over you and your covering over your family and continuous healing for you. Please subscribe. As always, thank you so much for your support and encouragement. We would love your feedback. If you have any questions, contact me or Kelsey. Again, have a great one. Until next time.